table. Michael Schmidt leading 5-2. Dennis Orcolio and Tan Nan Win about to start as well. A win for Orcolio will eliminate Win and confirm that Steve Davis is through as well. So a lot happening today on it's sort of Judgment Day 1, isn't it? I mean, it's spread over 2 days now, which I kind of like. Right. You know, the old format, everything boiled down to 1 day.
Right.
Now it's spread. Some people know their fate very early. Like this fella, for example.
Making quite an impressive debut. This is his first World Championship. Had to win a qualifier to get in here. He won the qualifying tournament number 7. And he certainly made the most of it.
Your knowledge of Chinese Taipei qualification tournaments never fails to astound me, Joe. How do you keep a track of all these things?
Just a fantastic memory. And a very vital internet connection.
It is amazing. It's much like Filipino pool, though, isn't it? You know, you talk about they're spilling off onto the streets out of pool halls at 4 o'clock in the morning in Manila, and it's more or less the same in Chinese Taipei. There's just so many pool halls just bursting with talent.
Yeah, the number of pool halls in this part of the world is really amazing. You go to places like Tokyo, and you'll find 3-story pool rooms with 4-star restaurants in them that open 24 hours a day, 100 tables, and there's always a waiting list to get on a table.
Unless your name is Jerry Forsyth, of course. But that's another story. That's not going to work, but has he got safety? That 2-way shot he was playing there, or was he going for the pot all the way?
No, actually, I'm not sure that he had enough of an angle on that ball to make the pot. I think he may have been trying to hide like this. Although without the angle that we have, it's difficult to be certain. I'm not sure that this cut down into the corners there, he may, if he's going to take this shot on, he may have to be banking it back across into the side pocket. And then getting shape on the floor is nearly impossible, so I think he's going to hide. No, he was hiding.
And hiding very successfully.
Hit that with a good pace.
What a ripple of applause.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Appreciative audience. They know the game well here. There you see it. He never had the pace to make the pocket. And he would have been striking it a lot more firmly had he been trying to make it, because the 4 ball's back down here on this other end of the table. So clearly all along this was his goal. Morris has a 1-rail kick shot to escape this trap,
which he's executed. And has he got away with safety as well?
I don't believe so.
Stop, doesn't he? Oh, he so wanted to stop. Sorry to interrupt you, Joey.
Yeah, I saw his arm sag next to the sign that it didn't work. A 3-rail safety here, sending the object ball 3 rails and leaving the cue ball behind the wall. This has got to be a very, very frustrating game for Mr. Morris. Hard to get anything going when all you're doing is kicking. Unless you have some fortune.
Just look at what he's left himself as well. I mean, couldn't have played that much better.
Yeah, he's got a nice little shot. He can take it into the side or the corner. Still going to have a tough little shot on that 5 ball. But whoever makes the 5 should cruise through the rest of the rack. There's our handy little graphic. Show you what's left to do. Oh, he chooses a safety. That's pretty wise.
Well, he's got him jammed up, hasn't he? Very tight behind that 9-ball.
Okay. Sort of sending a little message here. If you want to play safety war, let's play a safety war. You may not like it.
So Lou's turn to dig himself out of a hole, which he does, but before is open in the middle of the table, begging to be dispatched.
Yes, but the two easiest pockets into which it might fall are blocked, so it will be a thin cut into the side. There may be an alley there. If there is, it's not a full pocket.
According to that angle, it will pass, and you saw Morris come over and check it out for himself. As we said many times before, you can't always trust these angles. The angle straight down the barrel is the only one that really matters, but that does look like it's got a shot. Oh yeah, a shot.
So, this rack should go on Moore's side of the ledger. Boy, what a treat this is this week. All the heroes of the billiard world in attendance.
Some of them, like Rodney, will be going home early, and others of whom we know nothing, who knew nothing 3 days ago, will be there to entertain us deep into the week. It's one of the beauties of this World Championship, isn't it? There's always somebody somewhere that pops up to surprise you.
Well, this is where the new stars emerge.
Rodney Morris is very much a star waning at the moment though, and he still leads 4-3.
We'll take another look at this rack. There's one of the high points. Great shot there.
So Morris halfway there. I wonder how much Lou wants to put into this. I wonder if he's even thinking about seeding positions, because as you say, it is such a lot at that point, isn't it?
To break.
You could go hell for leather and end up, as you say, with Bustamante or Archer or somebody like that.
Yeah, with the group stages being best of 3 matches, it's easy to wind up facing a star at the end of the ranking order. It's
terrific break from Morris.
out cold.
But such as his luck today and in this tournament, the one ball he can't get a clean look at is the only one he wants. How often do we see that happen?
It seems like the break shot on this table almost has a curse on it all week long.
It'll give you that wing ball, but it'll say, you want object ball next? I'm not going to give it to you.
I know it. And then you see matches where guys will make 4 or 5 balls on the break shot and not have an opening shot. It's just simply amazing.
While you were talking there, Jerry, Rodney obviously declined the push out. He took it back, just informed our referee, Nigel Reese.
Yep. Face of frustration.
That's a face that's saying, get me back to my desk, get me back to my legal team.
Yeah. Too much going on. You know what? This being his debut in the World Pool Championship, what Lou is probably using this match for is to get used to the television lights, become a little more seasoned playing in front of such a crowd.
That's a very good point, Jerry. I mean, playing in crowded pool halls will toughen you up mentally. I mean, you can only emerge from that cauldron as a star if you've got what it takes mentally, but there is nothing replicates this.
Yeah, and you know you've got all your relatives and friends at home watching you. A lot of pressure out on that table. No one wants to go out there and embarrass themselves. And to their credit, very few do.
We haven't seen too many duds here, have we?
Haven't at all. It's been fantastic pool playing all week long. And the week is just beginning.
Yeah. Lou puts another one against his name. We're going all the way with this one. Oh, it's 4-4. Long way to go yet. Thanks, Uday. 4-4. In this Group 12 match, a group that's been pretty much cleaned up.
Back 9, presented to break, 4-4.
And in retrospect, it was the first match in this group that really determined it when Jörn Kaplan of Germany demolished Rodney Morris 8-2. It's Kaplan who will go on to lose to this fella, but he's won earlier tonight against Enrique Rojas of Chile, who's been the whipping boy in the group. Everybody's beaten him. But because Morris lost to Kaplan, Morris is out and Kaplan goes through.
Well, this match could be over very, very quickly. We're going to take another look at the break. As we do, watch the position of the 1 and the 9. Could be a two-shot game. But no. Someone made a comment. Couldn't quite catch what that was.
It might have been Lou. Showing some rare emotion there. You don't see the Chinese Taipei guys making a lot of fuss at the table, good or bad. That was a big smile, a rueful grin. Rodolfo Luat in the crowd looking on. Boy, did he scare everybody today with his 8-1 demolition of Oliver Ortman.
Good.
Couldn't believe it.
Well, Rudy's a former world 9-ball champion. Well, actually, that was a professional billiard tour world 9-ball championship. It was not a WPA world 9-ball championship. It was held in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in 1996. So he's been around the block a few times.
It's often the form horse that wins this tournament. I bet some money went down on Rodolfo Luat after that performance tonight.
Should have. That's not something you can do to Oliver Ortman.
Morris making short shrift of rack 9 here.
Ortman's got one of those games that when you watch him, it's hard to imagine a player with more focus and concentration than Ortman. And great mechanics as well. Line ball down for Morris. Now has 5 marks in his quest for 8. And to his credit, leads Hsun-Chen 5-4.
That's not the kind of shot that I think Lou would have played had there been a lot riding on this match.
So I'm surprised that the combination missed by as much as it did. No combination was easy.
Here's what's going on elsewhere. Jeff DeLuna off to a good start. We saw him win earlier against Kevin Buzel. Mike Schmidt's being stalled a little bit by Takeshi Okumura. Bermuda. Chow Fong Pang struggling against Bernard Tay of Singapore. That would be a major shock, but Chow, don't forget, is already through.
Rodney Morris to break. Leading 5 racks to 4.
Don't you know that Bernard Tay of Singapore is putting everything into that match? Because if you've got a chance of saying you beat Chow Fong Pang, you take it.
Yeah, okay. If you go home out at this stage and can say I beat a 2-time world champion, you've had a good week. And again, the curse of the break has come out. As you see, the 4-ball rolling into position to block the 2. So often it's that last moving ball that rolls up into place.
Well, we're going to have to leave this match for some of our viewers now as Sports Centre will begin.
Morris shows a nice little jump shot. That gets a grin from the big guy. Well, that'll put a little lift in his heart.
You might as well enjoy it while you're here. It's the World Championship.
It is indeed. Checking out the angle for the 7-ball. The 5-ball doomed to the corner pocket. It looks like Morris has decided the quickest way to end his suffering may be to win this match.
Tony Drago. That's so fast.
And our scoreline moves to 6-4. Morris over Luke. Morris taking the last 2 racks in a row. And 4 of the last 5 racks have been Morris. There's life in the old boy yet.
It's ironic, isn't it? If he'd had this streak just a couple of racks earlier, he could still have a chance at staying in. As it is too late. So let's enjoy Rodney Morris while we can.
Well, in the interview before the match, Morris indicated that he did not have a chance to go through, and I don't know where he got that bad information.
Rack 11, before leave to break. Trading 4 racks to 6.
I think maybe a sense of realism that he couldn't expect to beat this fellow 8-2. You're absolutely right, Joey. He'd given it up before he began, hadn't he?
Yeah, and surely on paper he's not supposed to beat this guy 8-2, but Whitman's not supposed to, on paper, doesn't lose 8-1.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Because when we heard him say that, we were scrambling for our notebooks, weren't we, to say, well...
I think he may have just been the victim of some erroneous math.
Well, it's not in doubt now. He is definitely out. But this is not wasted time at the table for Lou. This is a man who's going to want to go a lot further.
And showing the skill to do so. Very nicely moving the cue ball around the table.
Yeah, you take out his big gamble on the combination 9. And that was a gamble that was worth taking, really, because he's got nothing to lose.
Right.
He's hardly put a foot wrong. He's one of those players, isn't he, that he makes the game look easy.
Yes, he does. I'm going to be curious to watch him throughout the week to see how his lack of seasoning affairs with him. That's something that can always jump up and bite you at the worst possible time. There's a lot to be said for experience, especially under the lights.
This match moves on. Quite a lick. 6-5. Another drama-free break from the qualifier from Chinese Taipei. Makes you wonder the standard of qualifying when you see some of these guys that do come through qualifying and they just look like they belong right at home here on the big stage.
Well, you referenced it earlier.
Xiao Fengpang trying to come back against Bernard Tay. Michael Schmidt is starting to struggle a little bit against Okamura. Jeff DeLuna's running away with it a little bit. He'll be planning for later in the week if that result stands up. Dennis Okoye down at the bottom there. Not doing the job against the win of Vietnam.
Leading 6 racks to 5.
Early days there, but Dennis Okoye could end up facing Steve Davis tomorrow in a must-win situation. That would spice that match up a little bit, wouldn't it?
That would be good for us because they're on the TV table. Once again, we have a blocked opening shot.
It's almost like we don't even need to say it anymore. It's incredible.
No, wait. He's shooting with a level cube, so he can strike at least the edge. And we'll see how this combination fares for Mr. Liu.
Think he'll take this one on?
Sure he will. Well, I say sure he will, and because I said sure he will, he'll play the safety.
You were right. Boy, that was emphatic.
And he didn't even take time to aim that one. He just bent over it and fired.
Be interesting to see what he's like under pressure. Obviously he's not at the moment.
He'll need to strike this one firmly so he can move that 7 ball out of the path of the 4.
Just like that. This rack just opened up nicely.
No obstacles left now. Just maintain your focus. We've already seen the champions earlier this week lose their focus, missing easy shot that they could make in their sleep. A ball deposited. Only the 9 remains.
And that's not going to remain for much longer.
And we're going to be tied up here, Nick. Tie ball game. We're down to a race to 2.
So, it's a sprint now. A dash for the line. Who's going to be there first? Morris or Liu? If Morris does end up winning this match, he can...
Rack 13. We shall to break. 6-6.
He can join Tony Crosby in the commiseration lounge at departures, can't he? Because Tony's going home with 2 wins out of 3, not good enough. And that's what Morris's fate would be if he prevails here.
Yeah, I talked to Tony this afternoon, and extremely disappointed young man. I mean, anytime you're playing a total of 3 matches and you win 2, you think you're going to go through.
We haven't seen too many of these, Joey. Liu comes up dry.
He certainly has.
But as ever, no shot available on the lowest ball.
anyway. You wouldn't expect that. And still no direct shot available on the lowest ball, but he's just got to barely raise the cue ball off the surface of the table to get over the edge of that 6. Probably won't even use his jump cue. Nope, gonna just pop over it with the playing cue.
Well, with 9 balls on the table, there is plenty of run and hide options here.
He chose the Masse, swerved it nicely. Little curved ball action for you.
I wonder if Morris might fancy a little piece of that. Again, we can't quite get the angle to see if he can see what he needs. I don't think he can, looking at that overhead. I don't think he can slide it up top left as we're looking, but no, he can't. Can he get safety?
I don't believe so, Nick, but he certainly left a real tester here. That's a long cut. But the safety just about as tough, so you might as well take it on. And the 8 ball looms large in the position play, because it could easily wind up blocking the cue ball from the 2.
He did take it on.
Well, that was a tough shot.
Yeah. Yeah, that was tough.
He did make half the shot. He got position on the 2 ball. Now, how do you get to the 3?
Yeah, you've got to get through some traffic to hit that 3, haven't you?
Well, one of the balls in the way is the 9. Good things sometimes happen when you roll that 9.
That's a very good point.
He got by it.
And he's got position.
Now Morris can concentrate on a total game plan, everything out in the open. No huge problems to solve. He'll just go up to the head rail, come back down. He'd like to be stopping right about now. Well, that makes shape on the 6 a little more demanding. The 8, not the obstacle that we had thought.
Rodney just sort of walking around this table almost with contempt, as if it's like, let's just get this job finished.
Yeah, well, you know he's upset with himself over that first day loss.
And you know him. You're not going to make excuses. Rodney wouldn't want you to make an excuse, but it's got to have had an effect, all this other political business that's going on. It's not Rodney Morris out there, is it?
No, it's really a terrible situation that some of the players are involved in now. Being promised big money, and so far no payment.
But Rodney Morris is the first man on the hill, and I believe he'll break for the match. Well, we'll find out when we return in just a couple of moments. Thanks, Uday. Jerry Forsyth, being an American, doesn't
to break. Leading 7 racks to 6.
Doesn't understand the significance of "here we go." I'll explain it to you another time, Jerry.
Please do.
But not now, because Rodney Morris is on the hill. And if Rodney Morris had any English fans out there listening, they too would be chanting "here we go" right now. You get the sense, Jerry.
I'm sure I will eventually. And
Do we have a shot on the object ball?
Well, we can hit it.
It's the blue, which is tracking south as we look.
He can hit it. He can bank back across side.
No, he can't. And is he going to leave it, or is he going to get lucky? Ooh, no, it needs to stop. I thought he got lucky, but it slid back out the other side.
The only luck is that the 4-ball is not the easiest ball in the world. Well, actually, it's not all that tough. All he's got to do is draw across the table and avoid the side pocket. So, I'm not going to go there. We're about to see a double hill match, and we've seen a few of those, haven't we?
We certainly have. It's an indication of the standard of play we can expect here, especially with alternate break.
It's also an indication of how important the lag shot is. You want to be the guy with the first chance to put a mark on the board here.
And is it my imagination, or have we seen players pay a little bit more attention to the lag than we saw on day one, when a lot of them were just sort of bash and hope and see what happens? Now they're thinking, well, hang on, I better get this thing. This could go hill.
There was a great straight pool player in the United States named Willie Mosconi, whom the Mosconi Cup is named after. And he won the lag in a match against a man and then ran 150 and out. His opponent never got out of the chair. And the press afterward was interviewing Mosconi and gave him the opportunity to say a kind word about his opponent. They said, "What did you think about the man you were playing?" And Mosconi said, "Well, he needs to work on his lag."
We are hill, as expected. Blue has no plans to go quietly. The only question is now, can Lou get out of this with 3 out of 3, or will Rodney Morris have the last word? And what will be his last rank at this year's World Championship?
Nice little show of running balls put on that rack tonight.
Elsewhere, Dennis Okolio down at the bottom there, still struggling. Chow has come storming back against Bernard Tay. I didn't think he would have liked that slap in the face at losing to Bernard, and he's got his game together. Okamura and Schmidt now tied up at 5 after Schmidt had the big lead. And Jeff DeLuna is getting pegged back as well by Chris Calabrese of Australia. Tantel Boone of Singapore, he's got the early lead against the seeded Marcus Juba of Finland.
Iraq, position Lou to break.
We are seeing victories this year for all sorts of previously unheralded 9-ball nations, aren't we? There's Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia. Lots of countries starting to really emerge, especially from this part of the world, where that Philippine Chinese Taipei dominance really is dragging up other countries very quickly.
Nice break shot, and for once we have a shot on the 1-ball, I believe. This can actually go.
Surely not, Jerry. Surely not. This would be a treat.
It would be, just to see the first ball drop on the first shot.
Yes, you were right. I think Rodney might have played his last.
I believe he has. We've taken error at this point to bring Morris back to the table, and this man hasn't shown any propensity for error. Yeah, I don't see any way he can get in trouble here. He would just have to plain miss. Bring Morris up.
I don't think Rodney is holding his breath at the moment.
Nope. 4 balls away, now 3 balls away from Morris walking off the stage for the last time this year.
And there won't be too many happy to see him go, it has to be said. One of the more popular players on the circuit. But we have to say our goodbyes. And it's Morris who will be taking the early walk.
Well, a fine exercise for this young man. It will stand him in good stead for the rest of the week. Great experience for him.
Yes, he's taken the match. 8-7. Rodney Morris. A smile and a thank you to his opponent and to our referee. And we say goodbye to Rodney, at least for the 2006 World Pool Championship. Hopefully he'll be joining us this time next year without all those cares and burdens on his mind. As for Lou, well, he goes through 3 out of 3. Can't do any better than that. And Jürgen Kaplan of Germany joins him.